From the arts to business and from entertainment to technology, Nigerians have a long-standing reputation for excelling and breaking barriers wherever they go. Nigerian creativity and ingenuity knows no bounds, and the city of Los Angeles, the entertainment capital of the world, is a perfect backdrop for showcasing this amazing talent. Our guests today embody the Nigerian spirit of hard work, determination, and resilient pursuit of excellence. They've not only made name for themselves, but they are also paving the way for the next generation of Nigerians and creatives to shine on a global scale. Joining me in the studio today are two incredible individuals who have made significant impact in their respective fields. My first guest is Seyi Brown, a multi-talented comedian, actor, and writer. Having served as the host of African Laughs on the African Channel and been the first Nigerian to have a Netflix special titled Nigerian-American, he's not just making people laugh but also making them think, blending humor with social commentary in a way that resonates across cultures. Seyi Brown, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Pleasure.
So how's it been? How have you been?
Well, it's been fantastic.
Okay.
It's good, the bad, the ugly, but yeah, it's still good.
Tell me about the ugly.
The ugly is the ups and downs that comes with, any industry you're in, but it's always good. Life is good, I got the Nigerian spirit in me, so
Resilience.
we don't carry last.
At all.
And we don't back down. That's it.
Very true. So tell me something, Seyi. Comedy comes with a very highly cultural perspective. So how are you able to manage it here in Los Angeles?
Comedy, yeah, like you said, it has a cultural background, because the people you're talking to have to understand what you're talking about. And of course, there's the telling a story that people can relate to.
Yeah.
So, as an immigrant, when you tell your story as an immigrant, the regular Americans might not understand that well. We don't know that, So you have to be able to blend it with your daily activities, events. That's why as a comedian, you have to be informed, you have to watch the news, be online, get what's going on so you can relate your background with the current affairs. So current affairs is very important in the life of a comedian.
Yeah.
So you can blend both.
Yeah, so you have to be very, very observant.
Very observant, very informed, and of course be able to apply your life experience with what's going on.
Yeah, so what's your, how do you prepare for a set? For instance, you have a show tonight or tomorrow and you need to prepare.
Actually, I have one tonight.
Okay, so how do you prepare?
So,
Take us through your preparation process.
You probably would have done your homework
Yeah.
on the demography of the audience, or the people you'll be performing for. Like tonight, I'm performing for mainly Africans.
Okay.
Who are here. Some of them are born and raised here. And some of them, moved here, from Africa. So I have an idea. And of course, there'll be a bit of American, maybe a sprinkle of Americans. So I would know how to blend it.
Yeah.
So I just talk about, of course, all immigrants have a similar story about us coming here, experiencing culture shock.
Yeah.
And of course, now all immigrants come here thinking that, oh my God, since I'm in America, life is going to be easy right now. Then bam, bills start coming in from like, yo,
exactly.
What you say? So you have to tell the story that the Americans can relate to. Yeah, we know about that bills, but we don't know about, fresh out the boat, African police graduate and all that, the experience. And because, we come from an environment where everybody is the same color.
Yeah.
So we don't experience racism. What we had was tribalism, and all that. But, when you get here and you now start experiencing you can't do this because of your color, you're like, okay, what's going on here? So, so we can all relate to, some things that happen.
You talked about culture shock. What was your first experience with culture shock here?
It was actually on the plane from Detroit to LA.
Really? What happened?
I did it in my special. So, how they teach you some things in school.
Yeah.
Right? But when you now experience it, sometimes, depending on what's happening around, you might forget. So, of course, I remember, I even had a distinction in geography.
Okay.
So we learned about the international date line, different time zone. But I grew up in a country where we only had one time zone.
Exactly.
So you can imagine now landing in Detroit, flying to LA. My boarding passes, I leave Detroit by 12, I land in LA by 1. So in my head, it was a 1 hour flight. And this is somebody who's been traveling for 24 hours. I was hungry, I was tired.
Yeah.
So after what I felt was more than an hour, and we have not landed. So I checked the window and said, it's a 1 hour flight now. Why are we still flying? You understand? And you know, us Nigerians, even when we are wrong with confidence.
Yes, no.
You understand what I'm saying? So I confidently, I called the flight attendant. I said, excuse me, can you come please? I said, I think I'm on the wrong flight. She said, why would you think you're on the wrong flight? I said, because we have not landed. She said, why are we supposed to have landed? I said, because it's a 1 hour flight and I know we have been flying for 1 hour. I said, where did you get the information that it's a 1 hour flight? I said, my boarding pass. She said, oh, you didn't see that the 1 hour. I said, we are supposed to land, we leave by 12, we land by 1. What's going on here? Am I on the wrong flight? Are you trying to kidnap me? Has this plane been hijacked? He said, you didn't see that it is 1 p.m. Pacific Coast? I'm like,
what's the difference?
He said, East Coast time, West Coast time, Pacific Coast. I'm like, can you explain that? I said, there's a 3 hour time there. I'm like, oh, shoot. So I said, you're telling me this is a 4 hour flight? I said, yes. I said, oh my God, I'm going to be dead before we land on this because I am hungry, I'm tired. You know, so that was our first culture. I'm like, oh shit, this time difference thing, you know.
Okay, so you often blend your humor with social commentary. Can you share a moment of your performance where you felt your comedy made a significant impact on people's perspectives?
Okay, that is, the perspective of Africans, you know, like I remember when I first went to an Indian restaurant, you know, and they were asking me, what would you like to eat? I was like, yeah, I want chicken masala, I want, one with rice, just put stuff on. I was giving them everything, and the man said, oh my God, you speak good English.
I hear that a lot, and I'm like, what do you expect?
Mean? So I now found out that, most Americans, if your first contact with an African is a Francophone African, they don't speak English well because they speak French.
Yeah.
So they just assume that, because it's African and he can't speak English, that means all Africans can speak English. Those are Francophone Africans. They speak French. So they don't know. It's just like if I go to France and the average Frenchman thinks, he's African, he can speak French. And they say, pourquoi, comment ça va? I can say, ça va bien, but when you start going to, je m'appelle, je me donner un bonbon, I'm like, nigga, I don't know what you're talking about. So they were like, you cannot speak French? No, I speak English, you speak English. So it was later that I got to realize, I'm like, what was funny was the person that was telling me, oh my God, you speak good English, was saying it with an Indian accent. I said, if I slap the biryani out of your mouth, you are telling me, what the heck is wrong with you, And Naija, we're very proud people. Yeah. How dare you talk to me like that?
Okay, so how has your Nigerian roots influenced your style of comedy?
Oh God, we come from an environment where it's survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, for everything you're going for, there's. I come from a place where we have 200 million people. So that means for every opportunity you're going for, there's 1 million other people vying for that opportunity.
Yeah.
So you have that rugged spirit in you. And of course, the way we're raised. We were raised where you can talk back to your parents. You do not have an opinion until you are out of the house.
Exactly.
You can't even talk about dating. You can't talk about dating until you're probably in your second year in college.
My mom is here. She's guilty of that.
Yeah, you can't even talk about, there's this boy. Which boy? It better be the boy. If you are talking about boy, it has to be the one you're reading in your book.
If they hug you, you'll be pregnant.
You understand what I'm saying? If they even wink at you, that's it.
You'll be pregnant straight
My father
up.
told me that if you have a girlfriend, you will lose your intelligence. I'm like, why? So stuff like that, then you talking back, then having an opinion, stuff like that. I have 2 teenage daughters, and they talk back. And you can imagine how incensed I get, like you have the audacity, to talk back to me. Meanwhile, in my own case, if I think of talking about my mom, are you thinking of talking back to me?
She can slap the thought out of your head.
My mom that woke me up and said she dreamt I was smoking. That means I've been smoking and she wants to be. I said, but I did not smoke. You only had a dream. She said, for the Lord to reveal it to me. That means you are doing it. I'm like, but it wasn't me. Say, my God never lies to me, but you can lie. You can imagine, the experience. So of course so when you look around and, you see the difference between, where we grew up and here,
Yeah.
some things are funny. And, to know that the Western world see us as a third world country and they laugh at us.
Yeah.
They don't know that we have things that we laugh about too, especially, like when I see that, once you mention you're African, they're like, oh, African boogie scratcher, fresh out the boat, or they start making some, fun. And I'm like, we make fun of you guys too. Number one, you don't know how to dance, you don't have rhythm. Number two, your names.
They have their song
My
in their
name,
mind.
our names have meaning. You just give your apple. You just name your apple.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? You name yourself name of animals, tiger, and this and that. And your vice president was Dick. Yeah, yeah, and Jack. Dick, Jack. But my names have meaning. From my name, you can know the circumstances surrounding my birth, family that I'm from, what my family do for a living. If I give you my full name, so that's important to me. And the way you guys treat animals or whatever you call pets. No, we don't treat pets like that. Our pets are independent. Your pets are reliant on you. Pets are supposed to protect us.
Some of them end up in the pot.
You understand what I'm saying?
Exactly.
That's why we have beneficial pets.
Yeah.
How you guys have dogs and cats here. We have goats and chicken. Those are our pets. So they are beneficial pets. They serve as 2 in 1. The goat is sick, pot. Chicken is sick, pot. You understand what I'm saying? Not you have dog.
If you go to Akwa Ibom or Calabar, your dog is sick. Yes, as pot.
And our dogs are independent. They are on their own.
They find their
you
food.
Protect and serve. That's what the dog does.
Yeah.
Protect and serve. They have to go fend for their own food.
Exactly.
Where you have to buy dog food and all. No.
Yeah, we don't
find your own food. And sometimes when you find your own food, bring some for us.
Exactly. And we don't have insurance for them.
Still some. Bring it. So when you see that, I mean, so those are some of the things that you bring here in education system, the government and the freedom of speech people have here.
Yeah.
We don't have that in Nigeria. You talk against the government, you can disappear the next day.
Oh, it's happening already.
There's freedom of speech.
It's happening currently, rather.
But you might not be free after the speech.
Yeah, they tell you, this is the saying, there's freedom of speech, but freedom after speech is not guaranteed. That's it.
So you have to watch what you say. It's just a difference in the cultural upbringing. Yeah.
So tell us about breaking into Hollywood. What challenges did you face?
Well, I mean, it's not just challenges did I face. What challenges am I still facing?
Okay.
It's Hollywood is, if you know the story of Hollywood, Hollywood's Hollywood.
Yeah.
I didn't really even, my Netflix special was not via the route of Hollywood. It was I had to go back home to get the connects to be able to get that Netflix special.
Yeah.
Because I had to go through Africa and Asia to be able to get that Netflix special that I got. It wasn't true. I didn't try to go because when I came, I said, okay, all right, it was going to be
let's shake this down. Let's do this. Let's do that.
I mean, Nigeria is in vogue now, so it makes it. Africa is in vogue. Nigeria is in vogue.
Yeah.
Because of our music and our movies back home, and sports. So like when they say, "Oh, Nigeria is the giant of Africa," somebody actually put it right. I think it's Vector. He said, "Nigeria is not the giant of Africa. Nigerians are the giants of Africa." Because when you say Nigeria as a whole, you have to talk about the structure we have on ground and stuff like that. But the individuals, the people that make up Nigeria, are the ones who are really the giant. Because we look at everywhere we go in the United Kingdom, Europe, or in America, or even in Asia. Look at the Japanese team had 2 Nigerians on it.
I think almost every team in that Olympic had a Nigerian representative.
A sprinkle of Nigerians are everywhere.
Yeah.
Anchorage in Alaska has a big Nigerian community. Land of midnight sun. What are they doing?
Are you serious? No, but the thing, the saying is, if you go to a place and you do not see a Nigerian, run.
Because that means there's
nothing there. There is
as
absolutely
long as
nothing
there's money to be made, you find us there. So, that's also, helps. So, I mean, Hollywood is Hollywood. You do your thing, but what I had working for me is that when you keep knocking on the door of Hollywood and it's not working like tile, you create your own table.
Yeah.
Don't wait for other people's table. Create your own table. So what I have been lucky to have is the support of the Nigerian-American community. So I'm still able to sustain myself until you break into the large Hollywood. But now we're still like knocking on the door.
Okay.
And we know that one day we'll break down that door and
Definitely.
enter. And let me tell you,
we build our
once
own door.
Nigerians enter that door, Hollywood is not going to be the same again.
It's
So we
finished.
are warning you, Hollywood, right now.
No, but you know that whatever Nigerians get involved in, they literally
We take over.
finish it.
We just take
like
over.
they don't leave crumbs.
So watch out. You see, look at what's happening to music now.
We don't leave crumbs.
Since Afrobeat came like this, every other music is like catching up. Like,
Yeah.
what's going on? We are now filling up arenas, stadiums. We used to be just halls. Like when I got here, it used to be maybe like small halls and theater, but now we're filling arenas. I saw
Yeah.
Ashake the other day. It was at a YouTube theater.
Oh, that's nice.
Burna Boy, Davido, Wizkid filling up Madison Square Garden.
Yeah. Central Park. I think they had one concert at Central Park and it was shut down.
So yeah, that's Afrobeat.
great.
So Afro comedy is next. Watch out for us, baby. We coming.
We're watching out for you and we're rooting for you.
Oh, we coming big time. We coming big time.
Okay, so tell me what has the impact of social media been for your brand and your kind of business?
Yeah, so the advantage of social media, like every other business, is it helps you to reach places that you can't get to physically.
Yeah.
Because before you have to be there, you have to do flyers, you have to, but when you post a video, it can get as far as Asia in seconds, in minutes, and people will
True.
repost. And people, so it helps you to get fans in places that even you have not reached, and it gives you a broader audience base. Like when the Netflix special was released to Africa, I had people from, I remember, South Africa, Uganda, Kenya, Ghana, Zimbabwe reaching out to me like, oh my God, I enjoyed this special, this, that. People were reaching out to me from places.
Oh,
that
you
these are
nailed
places.
it, by the way.
Say that again?
You nailed it, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So, I'm like, oh, right, these are people that, when are you coming? When are you coming? So I said, okay, right, when I release the second one, we're going to do an Africa tour, a tour of Africa. Then we'll go to Europe, then, now Canada, then, here. So I was waiting for the second one before, I embark on a tour. So, social media has really helped a lot because I remember on Mother's Day, Alibaba, which is like the dawn of Nigerian stand-up comedy, sent me a 2-minute video from a clip from a comedy show I hosted 2 years ago that I talked about Nigerian moms, and it was going. I don't know why people were reposting it on WhatsApp groups. So he sent it to me. So can you imagine? The same day, Alibaba sent it to me from Nigeria. A friend sent it to me from South Africa.
Oh, nice.
One of my friends sent it to me from London, Canada. And I'm like, okay, why is this video now going viral now? They say, because, it's Mother's Day and somebody was posting it. And another influencer posted it on his page. And people started tagging me like, oh, yeah. So that's the advantage of social media. It helps you to reach people you're not able to reach, increases your fan base, audience base.
Okay, so tell us about your future projects. What are you working on? Any specials? You already said you're doing a part 2 of that.
Yeah, so I already shot that actually.
Oh, great.
I shot the sequel to the Nigerian-American.
Okay.
It's called Culture Shock, which chronicles my experience as an immigrant. Then now, what I'm working on now that I want to do next is a half-hour special.
Oh, nice.
Because I just feel like I need to talk about, because everybody talks about Nigerian parents raising their children and how we're able to be very, very excellent. And because I have a first-hand experience in this, I was raised by a Nigerian parent. Now I'm a Nigerian parent raising first gen, So I think, combining the two experiences. So I just want to do a half-hour special on Nigerian excellence.
Oh, nice.
It's just about why people want to know, why do Nigerians succeed at everything they do? Why are Nigerians excellent in what they do? Because I've seen several videos of people from other African countries, from Europe and America, saying, why are Nigerians, everywhere they go, they dominate, They are good in every area as long as you put them there. What is the thing about Nigerians?
But why do you think we excel in everything that we do?
Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little secret. No,
Okay.
there are 3 factors. Number
Okay.
1, we're very competitive.
True.
Number 2, we can be very petty. Number 3, then we have a sprinkle of pride. The average Nigerian
sprinkle?
is proud.
Sprinkle.
We have that pride in us.
We're very
You
proud.
see those 3 things. Then the 4th one is we love the good things of life.
Oh yeah, you can say
So
that
we
again.
work hard and we play hard.
Yeah.
We have that. So that's why they say Nigerians don't carry last. Nigerians don't carry last. So 1, competitiveness. Do you know that when the average Nigerian sees you, the first thing they do is they size you up
Yeah, true.
immediately once they
Yeah.
see you. So that's where the competitiveness stands from. Like, okay, is she dressing better than me? Okay, is she finer than me? Okay, if she's finer than me, she cannot be more intelligent than me. If they talk to you, okay, she's very intelligent. If she's more intelligent than me, she can't be rich as me. Okay, if she's rich, that competitive spirit just comes from just looking at you. Then once you open your mouth and say hi, once Nigerians ask you 2 questions, the 3rd question is they want to size you up. Like, so what do you do for a living?
Yeah.
Just know that whatever you say you do for a living, their response will be 2 steps better than you.
Yeah.
So if you say, oh, I am an accountant, I say, oh my God, that's good. I'm a doctor. I have an accounting department in my establishment. Maybe someday I will, maybe you
I would
can
invite you
They just
over.
told you that they are better than you. You
Yeah.
understand? So I now decided to start using that so that every Nigerian that see me that size me up, like, okay, so what are you doing? I say, I'm a surgeon. I say, hey, they will now respect you. But one guy blew my mind one day. They say, so what do you do? I say, I'm a surgeon. They say, hey, oh, that's nice. I own 4 hospitals. Maybe you will work in one. I say, this one has taken it to the next level. You see what I'm saying? Another competition. We're very competitive.
Yeah.
And they are petty. Do you know that how competitive we are, even in normal greetings? If I say, good morning, how are you? I am fine. What about you? Say, hey, I am excellent. Excellent is more than fine. That's our style. So how are the children? Hey, they are fine. Oh, they've graduated.
But I think.
See, they say they are fine. Oh, they have graduated. What about yours? Hey, they are doing their masters. See, your own have graduated. My own are doing their masters. Hey, say, well, I just want you to know that my own, they don't even need to do masters. They say once they graduate, they are getting PhD straight. How is that possible? It's competition. We are competitive. You cannot be better than me. That thing works for us. And because also we want the good things of life. So we say, what are they doing? That's why you see there's a lot of Nigerian nurses. Because what are they doing that they are making money? Okay, nursing. What are they doing they are making money? Doctor. Okay, what are they doing they are making money? Home health business.
Yeah.
Let's go. What are they doing? They are making business. Trucking. Oh yeah, let's go. There's no lucrative business in America that you don't find Nigerians there.
Yeah, true.
We work hard, we play hard, we like to show off, and you can't be better than us.
And I think we're very resilient, actually.
Oh yeah, and so that's
Very,
what
very.
works for. We don't take no for an answer.
Yeah.
And and also when we raise our kids, we raise them to be excellent.
Yeah.
Like you come back home and you get 95%, the average parent will be happy, but not Nigerian parent. They say, what did you get? Say 95%.
What happened to the person that carried first?
No, they will not say, so what about the remaining 5%? What did you do? You want to dash the school? Say, yeah, but that 5%, that is an A plus. They say, yes. When I paid your school fees, did I pay 95%? I paid 100%. So you should be getting 100%. No, be getting 95%. Because they did not, you are giving them discount in your mark.
Yeah.
So when I was paying your school fee, did they give me discount? No. You should not give them discount in the mark too. Do you understand? So go and take the results to your mom. When you get the 100%, bring it to me. So this one is for your mother.
All right, so let's talk about personal growth here. How has your career in comedy and acting changed you as a person?
Well, so coming here and thinking, oh my God, America is so big. How do you reach out to the Nigerian community at large? That was where social media came and helped, to help you reach, and because you are able to reach, you are now a household name in your community, like at large, not just in California, your home state, but in North America, as far as Canada and some of the, Mexico and all that. So that has helped. So because that has helped, people back home took notice of that.
Yeah.
So you would see that people who didn't know you or who didn't really relate with you before now respect you Yeah, they respect you. They respect your act. They see that okay, you got talent. You've made this reach. They now start reaching out to you like, yo, I'm coming to America. I want to do a tour. Would you like to?
Yeah.
So now they relate with you. Of course, you can take care of your family back home. You don't even need to think about taking care of your family. Your family know that. Oh, now that you are doing well,
You have
so
to.
you see this community building that we want to build. We want to build it. So my
Yes.
son is in school and they say the school fees is not ready. Then they are getting married.
percentage
Even
of
if you
whatever
cannot
you're
make it-
earning.
if you cannot make it down, just send us something. You understand?
Yes.
It's end of the year. And you should know. So you're able to take care of your family, and you're recognized, and you start attracting brands that want you to endorse or promote or support. So those are some of the advantages of like getting out there.
So what lessons have you learned that has impacted your life outside entertainment?
It is just to, number one, most importantly, don't give up. So many doors will be closed, but you just have to keep knocking. Don't let money be the main reason behind you doing something. Achieve it, then the money will come. It will come. Once you, because what the lesson I learned is that when you give people 110%, when you perform more than you are paid, eventually you'll be paid more than you perform.
Yeah.
So that's that's the motto I follow, to just make sure that I I stand out.
That's good. So you're putting in a lot of work into building your brand and ensuring that you're a global brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's taking you a lot of time, energy, resources, and all of that, and you keep grinding, you keep pushing. However, there are loads of Nigerian youth, young comedians that want to make it overnight, that are trying to do different things just to ensure that, like you said, competition, right? Everybody wants to outdo the other person. This one's car has to be bigger than the other person's car. We need to spread the largest bundles of money and all of that. So what are you going to advise Nigerian youth and I don't like the word upcoming comedians, but growing comedians, people that are building their brand, especially in the entertainment industry? What advice do you have for them? Because there is this, it's a trend now, right? A lot of them will tell you they're doing skits. A lot of them will say they're doing it, and then you're seeing the kind of
Skits is
life.
an easy way to make money.
Yeah, but the kind of lifestyle they're living, I cannot justify it. I can't say, okay, YouTube is paying you that money or Facebook is paying you that much, right? Even with the exchange rate. So what advice do you have for them? Because a lot of them end up doing things that they're not supposed to do just to meet up.
Well, I mean, everybody's journey is different. But what I would just advise, especially in the area of comedy, is that your story has to be unique to you. You have to tell your own story and create your own style.
Yeah.
And once you, because that's what helps your brand. Once, like, people know me that, oh, I don't do vulgar jokes, I don't do dirty jokes, and I don't cuss.
Oh, that's good.
It's family friendly. Like when I do a comedy show, you can actually come with your children. They actually learn about the culture, about, so that's a style that I've, created with my own brand. And people know that. So you have to do something that is true to you. And you have to keep pushing and keep striving to get better than yesterday, And like I said, if you keep putting in the work, at a point, you will get noticed. And of course, social media kind of accelerates the growth rate these days.
Yeah,
so you have to take advantage. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I need to take more advantage of my social media. And, I probably have to hire a social media manager to make sure that your brand is out there, because it helps to grow. Because these days, everything is by numbers. How many followers do you have? How many people are you able to reach? It helps in areas like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Seyi Brown, a.k.a. the Black 007, a.k.a. Nigerian's own finest. That's finest, you know what I'm saying? All the way from Abeokuta to LA. Keep watching the Olah show. Olah show. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Seyi. It's been fun having you on the show, to be honest. And we look forward to having you next time, okay?
Oh, yeah. We'll be back when we release the second special.
Definitely.
Watch out.
And then you invite me for your tour.
Oh yeah, definitely. Media tour, you know. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Good, good, good. So thank you
All
so
right.
much. So guys, it's been fun having Seyi on the show. My next guest is Dani, and you need to really know more about this young lady. She's doing amazing things in makeup artistry here in Los Angeles. So shortly we will bring Dani, and we'll be talking a lot more about her business and how it's impacted her life and the lives of others around her. It's still the Olah Show, and the show continues in a bit. Magic in action. Check out her stunning home and event decor on Instagram, and follow her podcast on YouTube. Marcin's Event, Decor and More isn't just about events. It's about creating unforgettable experiences and connections. My next guest is Dani Uke. Dani is a Los Angeles-based makeup artist with a unique focus on makeup artistry for athletes. Her journey began in 2021 when she had the opportunity to work with her first athlete and brand. Since then, she's been fortunate to collaborate with some of the world's greatest women athletes and top brands like Urban Decay, Nike, Bleacher Report, Skims, as well as leagues such as Athletes Unlimited, the WNBA, US Soccer, and a whole lot more. She's been empowering women athletes through the art of makeup, and makeup is her passion. She loves being able to help them feel confident and be their best at all times, both on the field and off the field. Today, we celebrate the journey of Dani Uke, her achievement and her contributions to the vibrant tapestry of culture here in Los Angeles. These are Nigerians doing exploits, making us proud all over the world and showing the world that with talent, passion, and resilience, anything and everything is possible. So sit back and enjoy this interview with my amazing Dani. You're welcome to the show. So how did you get into that?
So my journey really began with working in the fashion industry. I worked in the fashion industry for a couple years. I worked for MAC Cosmetics as well.
Okay.
And I was on the East Coast. And I really wanted to work with celebrities. I had wanted to do that for a very long time. I wanted to kind of have my own artistic feel in media. And I felt like the best way to do that was to be with a recording artist or an actress or something like that. So I moved to California with hopes of working understudying a celebrity makeup artist, and that didn't work out. And I didn't know what I was gonna do. And my first job with an athlete was with Sydney McLaughlin. She had just broke a bunch of records, and she was doing a sit down with Gatorade. And one of my friends is a huge broadcast journalist for women in sports.
Okay.
And I was already working with her, so I got to work with the both of them. And the experience overall was just so amazing. The director was amazing. Everyone that I worked with, the PAs, everyone was very intentional about the way that they interacted with me, which is very different from the fashion industry. I love the fashion industry. I love how fast-paced it is. I love the artistry that comes with it. But with sports and with working with athletes, I really love how comfortable I'm able to be. I love how respected I am. And I love that it's a new area and a new era. It's a new area, and so there's not many makeup artists like me. So people really respect my opinion and respect my artistry here as well. So I do love that. And that's how I got into it. It was really the love of that. And then moving into working with WNBA players and just building all of these amazing friendships throughout so many sports, volleyball, surfing, sports I didn't even think of, skateboarding, gymnastics. So that's how I got into it.
Oh, that's good. I can see that you're from the fashion industry from the way you're looking. I mean, good combination. I love it. You look good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. So looking at everything that you have done as a Nigerian woman or a Nigerian lady in this industry, in Hollywood, in California, how has it been? What has the journey been like? What were the challenges you faced? Just tell us about it.
Yeah, so they definitely faced a lot of challenges. I am very grateful for my mother. She's so supportive. But being a Nigerian woman, being an Igbo woman, there's not much room for failure. So I'm constantly thinking of ways to make my dream a success. I was never comfortable with just being a makeup artist or just doing, just doing what I love. There's always that added pressure of, this one's a doctor, this one's an engineer, this one's doing this one's doing that.
Exactly.
So what am I bringing to the table? What am I going to leave for my mother to brag about?
Yeah, exactly.
So I've always thought about like ways to make my artistry tell a story, ways to make my artistry a part of not just my culture, but a part of where I'm from and who I am. And a big part of that is being successful. So I've always just thought outside of the box with what I bring to the table. And so that in itself is a challenge. And then on top of that, just trying to pave my own way. And as a Christian too, I'm very respectful. I'm very I don't like to take things or kind of make my own presence known. I kind of am very intentional about allowing God to set that table for me. And so coming into working with celebrities, I never wanted to make any other makeup artist feel like I was taking their client or poaching clients or anything like that. And I also am very big on community and forming that community. And so I always want people who work with me or people who do the same thing that I do to feel very welcomed in my presence and feel very loved. So moving into working with athletes, there was no one there. It was an open lane. So I knew that I didn't have to worry about anyone feeling like I was poaching their clients or any of that nasty work that can be in a lot of the industry, whether you're an actress, whether you're on crew, anything like that. A lot of the industry is so tight and so gatekept that when new people come in, there can be a little bit of tension. And I try to avoid negativity and tension in this city as much as possible. So really excited that God even opened this door for me, because now it's this is my territory and I get to kind of shape it the way I want to. And I get to, when people come in, I get to be very welcoming and just set that new standard of this is a community, this isn't a race. We are not athletes, we are makeup artists.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that I feel like those are kind of the challenges moving into Hollywood. But a part of creating your own space and kind of doing your own thing is you do have to set standards. One is pricing. That's a huge standard that I've had to set by myself. And working in sports, it's a new territory. So there isn't that much emphasis on how much are we paying the makeup artist. It's more of how much are we paying the athlete. And having to come in and be no, these are the standards that I left the fashion industry with, and these are the same standards that I expect from these big brands and big companies. And having to stand on that is really hard, because I'm also really sweet.
Yeah, I can see that.
And I just want to have fun and make people feel beautiful. That's it. So that part has always been a bit of a struggle, but business is business.
Yeah. You're an Igbo woman. You have to make that money.
Listen.
You have to.
I must.
That's it. When you told your mom you wanted to become a makeup artist, what did she say?
I was so scared. It's so funny. It's been a while now, but I was so terrified. I was in college and the hope was that I'd be a lawyer. Okay. And I think my mom really wanted me to be creative. She wanted me to be a writer. And I didn't want to do something that I had to kind of make my own way. With law, becoming a lawyer, you go to law school, you go to a good law school, you're pretty much set. And so that was my main focus. But I think around year 3, I didn't want to do that anymore. And I initially wanted to work in government. I didn't want to work in government anymore. It was very scary. Everybody was very angry, and I didn't see the Olivia Pope future that I had planned for myself. So I started to realize that I really had a passion for makeup artistry, and I really loved it. And I was so scared to tell her. And one day I just kind of told her, I was standing up to her, and I was like, "Mom, I want to be a makeup artist." And she was so happy that
wow.
I planned, a 6-point presentation. I was ready to give her an entire dissertation. She was so happy. I didn't know what to do with her happiness. And she was just so ready to support me and so excited. And I think
that's
that
amazing.
I know. I think that like with her dreams, she's had dreams that she didn't fully pursue. I think that with her dreams not all being realized at the time, she was just very much like, well, I want my daughter to have that. And I thought that that was so beautiful. And she's still to this day is like so supportive. She's so momager about my career and like decisions that I'm making. She's like, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think it's so cute. But I'm so grateful to have a mother like her, especially being Nigerian. I did not think that that was going to be the answer. So very blessed.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, because I'm like, oh my God, the Nigerian mom, that's good.
Yeah, she's totally fine with you moving to LA. That's crazy. But you also have a Nigerian mom.
Exactly.
And she's supporting you too. I'm like, oh, the Nigerian moms are coming around.
Exactly, they are. We're getting them out of
We're
their
getting
shell.
them out of their shells, exactly.
No, but it's amazing to have family that supports you. It's amazing to have a mom that always has your back, irrespective of what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, I have an engineering background, and here I am.
Yeah, exactly. Look, we made it out.
Yeah, we made it. Calling all food lovers, are you ready to experience the taste of Africa right here in Los Angeles? Look no further than Value Her, the pop-up sensation that is taking the city by storm. Every Sunday from 4 p.m., head over to the Alameda Night Market at 1114 Main Street, Los Angeles, and dive into a world of flavors with Value Her. We're talking about authentic, organic African cuisines that will have your taste buds dancing. Delicious dishes made with love, using only the freshest organic ingredients, from mouth-watering jollof rice to the freshest, creamiest smoothies and juices that are bursting with natural goodness. Value Her has something for everyone. It's not just a meal, it is a celebration of African culture and hospitality. Don't just take my word for it. Come and taste the Value Her experience for yourself. Perfect for family, friends, and foodies alike. Join us every Sunday at 4 p.m. at the Alameda Night Market. Value Her. So you were talking about how you let God lead you and just open the doors for you and all of that. So is there any time where you kind of feel anxious, like the jobs are not coming and you're tempted to just pick that phone to call someone and you're like, okay, God, what's going to happen?
Yes, all the time, actually. That is like the basis of our relationship is trust. And I every time I'm like doubting, God does come through. But I think that the biggest thing that I've learned is that I'm always fearful of becoming weary, of wanting to give up and not feeling like I can't make it.
Yeah.
And that's been like one of the biggest things is the verse that says, they that wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. You shall run and not grow weary. You shall walk and not faint. And I feel like I've been walking.
I know that feeling.
And I keep being like, I'm gonna faint, God. You know, you don't want your people to see me faint.
Yeah.
But I'm not fainting, and I'm constantly getting called for things that I didn't expect. I got this year the Skims deal. So I got to work with Kim Kardashian's team. Yes, with the WNBA, and that was a lot of fun. Of course, got to see some of my favorite clients. Got to work with one of my favorite clients, Dejanay Carrington, and so it's really like been like a roller coaster of very, very high highs, especially in this city. You just driving and seeing the Hollywood sign is a high. It's like you've won. And then also like very low lows where I'm terrified. I'm scared that I've made the wrong decision. And I think the biggest thing too is having people who will pray for you and people who will pray with you.
Yeah.
And like I said, my mom's been super supportive. She's always praying with me. But I also have a strong Christian family out here who prays for me. And I think one of my lowest points was last year. Finding a family at one has really like supported me as well. But yeah, do
you want to share the story?
Ooh. Well, last year In January, I moved back to LA. I had moved home for 3 months. I was growing a little wary, but I had moved home for 3 months. And while I was home, I got a lot of work on the East Coast, which I didn't expect. I expected to kind of go home and just kind of wait for checks to catch up and like try again, basically. And I moved back out. I found an apartment out in Koreatown. I knew that I wanted to live closer to the city, but not in the city. And I moved in. I wasn't too excited about the home that I moved into. I didn't feel like it was exactly what I expected. And 4 days after I moved in, my car got stolen.
Oh, wow.
My car got stolen. I had a lot of designer stuff, a lot of purses, a lot of shoes in the car because I was moving in. And I think it was raining, and so I was like, I'm just going to take a break. Even if the car itself was there, I think I would have been fine with all of the material things getting taken. It is what it is. But I think what broke me was that was a car I drove here from Maryland to start my career. And I've never not had a car. I've had my license since the moment I could have my license. I did all the steps. So as soon as I was 15 and 9 months, I had a car, I had a license, I was driving to school. And so I've never not had a car. I've never had that experience as well. I've never had anything bad in terms of like a car break-in or anything like that happen. And I felt this energy before I came back. I was crying. I was at church, and I was saying bye to everyone at my hometown church, and I was just so emotional. I was crying all the time.
Why?
I don't know. I just felt very anxious about coming back, and I felt like nothing good was going to come of it. And the moment that happened with my car, I fell into a wave of prayer and almost prayer warfare, and it was very transcendent for me at the time because even though I've prayed and I've always been a worshiper, I don't know who I became. I was very angry that the devil would even come that close. And in the past, I would be more afraid of it. But the fact that that happened to me, and I felt that this was a calling over my life, and everything that had happened when I was home, even like people calling me when I was home, I felt like this was a calling over my life. I was very angry that I would be treated that way. And I just began to, like pray over the car situation, but also over my career, over my life. And it was a level of submission that I didn't realize that I hadn't reached yet. And also, I felt like it was an attack on me serving because I finally, for years, I haven't served the church. And I finally, that year, January was the first month that they were having everyone come together, figure it out, find your team and everything like that. And that was like a huge halt because now I'm like figuring, how am I going to get to church? What am I going to do? I have no money, so I can't just be Ubering everywhere. And I just had to figure so much stuff out. But by the end of the year, looking back, I had done so many amazing things. I had gone to Super Bowl. Everybody was like, oh, I want to see Rihanna perform. I got to see Rihanna perform.
Nice.
I started working with Urban Decay that year. I got my first media day with a team that year. I did two. I did Angel City for soccer, and I did LA Sparks for WNBA. So I was making moves, and a lot happened last year. There were so many highs, and I think that was just the point that I needed to reach I needed to reach that point spiritually in order to get where I am physically. Yeah, my entire life changed. It was hard. It was not fun. But at the end, looking back, I feel like everything that I went through, and the way that I pray for my friends now, in their careers, I'm like, listen, God, we've been through so much that my expectation now is that the people who even touch me have success. That's that our relationship, that their success is a sign of how strong our relationship is. And I think even just coming into that, just the way that I felt, I'm more in tune with what's coming, and I'm big on perception, and I can just perceive the good things that are coming my way. And that was the first time that I've ever perceived anything. I feel. And so moving forward, like I'm very in tune with that now. I'm like, okay, like when I'm feeling anxious or anything, I take it to God, and anything that comes my way after that, I'm just like, it was meant to happen. I'm not gonna be shaken. And I also have let go of like materialistic things as well. I was like, oh, the car. But
that must have been hard.
that was hard. It was so hard. I didn't want another car. I was so upset when I had to get a car when I had to rent a car. I was so upset. I was like, I can't drive it. I don't know how to drive a different car. So irritating. Poor Jesus. But no, it was hard, but I made it through. And I made it through something I never would have thought that I made it through. Now I'm living in a really nice place. I love my life. I drove here today.
That's good.
So,
Congratulations.
so God is faithful. But yeah, like that was something that I definitely went through that I didn't expect to go through, especially being an entrepreneur. Like, what am I supposed to do now?
So let's talk about your empowerment program for women. Your bio, when I went through it, I was like, okay, she's empowering female athletes with her makeup. How is that going?
That's going really well. So my biggest thing is, I think that athletes are kind of have this, I think when people think athletes, they typically think about the men. They don't really think about the women athletes who are trailblazers, by the way. And so when it comes to things off court, the expectation for women athletes is almost the same as men. And I think the difference is, like with men, when there is male grooming, a lot of it is to cover up maybe like bruises or anything that's happened on the court or anything that's happened on the field. But in terms of like taking care of the women and their appearance off the court, it's not really there. And so I feel like walking into this industry, I've noticed that a lot of women are insecure about who they are off the field, off the court, and they're not able to vocalize that in a way because on the court, their focus is completely different. They don't care what they look like. It's starting to change for sure, but for the most part, they have a goal in mind, and it's to win, and they're very determined. And so if their hair is coming apart, if their if their shoe is coming off, like that's not their main focus. Their main focus is to stop whether it's defending their basket or defending their goal, to stop that ball or stop that player from advancing. And so I think when we're offset, there's all these cameras, there's all these lights, there's all these eyes, there's all this focus, and a lot of times women athletes know what they want to present and how they want to look when they look at that content, but they don't necessarily know how to vocalize that. And that's across all areas, I believe. I think that it's oftentimes artists or creatives are, saying the same thing, but they're able to voice it because there's been people in the past who have voiced it so that there's someone to look at. And so coming in, I've just been a big advocate of making sure that women feel empowered in front of the camera, because I'm a makeup artist that they trust as well. They know that they look good from their own perspective, but then I'm there as well to be like, no, you look good. And I'm there behind the cameras to be like, can we stop? I need to fix this. They know that I'm going to do that. And they know that I'm not going to just sit silently and like let a lash fall off or like let a hair be out of place. I'm going to stop production to fix it. And I don't think that they've had that before. So having me on set, it just makes them feel more comfortable. But also we get along. So I love to make people feel beautiful inside and out. And I love to get to know people. So I just make sure that they're having a good time on set and that it doesn't feel like it's a 9-to-5 day, but it feels like we're just having fun. Like, and we get to do.
Being paid to have fun.
We're being paid to have fun. We're being paid to have a girls' day. So that's my biggest thing on set and with my clients.
Okay.
With with makeup artists, I want makeup artists coming into this industry to feel like they have someone to talk to, like they have someone to bounce ideas off of. I'm very open with my pricing. I'm very open with the jobs that I get. I want makeup artists to feel empowered in this space as well. And I don't want them to feel like they're competing with me, because anything that's for them is for them. Anything that's for me is for me. And I encourage them to, do their big one when they're with their athletes, and to make their athletes feel comfortable and confident in the work that they're doing. And if there's ever a time where I need to step in, or we need to trade or anything like that, I'm very respectful of it. So essentially what I want to do is I do want to host more classes. I do want to do more master classes for people who are fans of my work, but also do exclusive master classes for artists who are interested in working with athletes. I want to make sure that if I'm not here, or if I'm doing something else, that every athlete is taken care of. That's my biggest goal. And if I ever am to leave this industry, I want to make sure that I'm leaving an impact on this industry where every athlete feels just as empowered as any of my clients when they're on set. And I don't want that to necessarily be tied to me. I want that to be tied to the culture that I'm creating. So that's my biggest thing. I would love to use that. I have an empowerment program. I don't have an empowerment program yet. But I want to. I would love to.
Okay,
I would love to.
That's good. I don't know where I got that from. So I guess there's the Holy Spirit saying.
Yes, I received that. Thank you.
Receive it.
I received
All right,
that.
I was going to ask you for your advice to aspiring makeup artists, but you already covered that. But in one line, if you could advise the young makeup artist, what would you say?
Pray, and don't give up just because things don't look good. Keep trying. Keep finding different ways to get your artistry out there. You're a creative for a reason, so keep creating.
All right, so one more question, right? From experience, how does makeup affect the athlete's performance?
Oh my God. I think it's a combination of the makeup and the artist. So for me, being able to be a space where athletes can confide in before they go on set, athletes can talk to, and being something that's familiar and comfortable. So I go to games, I go out with athletes, I hang out with them. I try to make my presence as known as possible, as open as they are to me being around. I try to be around so that when we are on set, they're very comfortable. That's one. And then with the makeup, I think that it just helps their confidence if they have any blemishes. We do live in a world of social media. We do live in a world that's very
Vain
focused
world.
on vain. I didn't want to say vain. I was gonna say focus on the vanity. But yes, so I think that it's imperative that they feel as powerful as they are when they're competing, as they are when they're doing a shoot for a brand and things like that. And I think that having the makeup artistry done the way that they want it to be done, not the way the artist wants it, not the way the brand wants it, the way that they want it. And I can tweak it for the brand. I can make it. We can add some things for the brand, but it's the client is really the athlete. And I think the difference between them and models or whoever is that they're not showcasing makeup for a Nike shoot. They're showcasing Nike apparel. So making sure that that's the focus, and making sure that they feel beautiful in the way that they look and listening. And that's what gives them the confidence, knowing that they got what they wanted and they got what the brand is paying for. And they're able to go out and do their job.
Okay, so that is it. Thank you so much, Dani, for coming on the show.
Welcome.
It's been amazing and fun chatting with you.
Thank you.
You're so intelligent. You're hardworking. You have everything going for you. And
Thank you.
God-fearing. Good job. Well done. I'm super proud of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Of course.
So, guys, it's been the Olah Show. We're going to call it a wrap for this week. Till next week. Toodles.